It's the end of the world as we know it, and I don't feel fine. I had COVID, and it was awesome, and still might have it. I don't know. I'm under quarantine, I think. Anyways, so Megan Rapinoe's back in the news, as usual, because she needs to sell more books. U.S. Soccer and the women's stars reach an agreement. What kind of agreement? Well, an agreement to extend lawsuits and help the women win the equal pay lawsuit, I think. I don't know. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe. Go to youtube.com/Coach Cameron Soccer and subscribe. That's what you could do. I'm so tired. I think it's from COVID. Anyways, coming from New York Times, both sides claim victory. The U.S. Soccer claims victory, and the U.S. women's national team, Megan Rapinoe, because she's so white, claims a victory. Yeah. Awesome. The United States Soccer Federation and its World Cup champion women's team, Megan Rapinoe, said Tuesday that they have resolved the players' outstanding claims that working conditions, a rare moment of detente, and mutual happiness before the side's long-running fight of equal pay returns to federal court. And it will return over and over again because Megan Rapinoe says so. She keeps calling and texting her U.S. women's national team players and the newly ones that enter. So what happens if you're a newly U.S. Women's national team player? You come on and you'll get a text from Megan, and she'll say, if you want to stay on this team, do what I say, or I'll have you removed because I am so white, so woke, and that's how I roll. That's according to May. So anyways, they're in this equal pay crap, and they're breaking it down, point by point. We want this concession for this concession. We want to fly on the same planes as the men. We want better airfare. And that's what they'll get. They should get the same, I'm assuming, as the men's. I'm going to scroll down. I don't even want to talk about this stuff. The U.S. Soccer president, Cindy Parlow-Cone, hailed Tuesday's agreement, saying it signaled the federation's effort to find a new way forward with the women's team and hopefully a way out of the rest of this litigation. No, it won't. Not long as Megan Rapinoe is alive and kicking. In a conference call, she spoke of a different relationship with the women's team, of which she was once a member, and of a chance to rebuild the trust between the sides. Oh, they won't. In some ways, agreement simply codified an effort that U.S. Soccer has already begun to remove any differences in areas like staffings, travel, hotel accommodations, venue choices related to men's and women's national team matches. U.S. Soccer said it would put the deal into effect immediately. The problem is it does cost money. That's the problem we run in. There is a money issue because U.S. Soccer is on the verge of bankruptcy. So I do support Megan Rapinoe on these efforts. Because if she can bankrupt U.S. Soccer by throwing a fit, I support it. Totally. Reading on, the settlement does not address past working conditions or involve any payment to the women players, according to the U.S. Soccer officials familiar with the agreement, and it does nothing to address the women's equal pay claims, on which the sides remain almost comically apart. But in resolving the players' issues related to working conditions, it allows the players to refocus on overturning the devastating rules on their equal pay claims. That effort is, if successful, could be worth tens of millions of dollars in back pay and damages. Yeah, and U.S. Soccer doesn't have the money because they spend too much on other crap. We are pleased that the U.S. women's national team players have fought for and achieved long overdue equal working conditions. Molly Levinson, a spokeswoman for the players said in a statement, we now intend to file our appeal to the court's decision, which does not account for the central fact in the case. What? Okay. Homeschooling, which does not account for a central fact in the case that women players have been paid a lesser rate than men who do the same job. That is not true. It's not true. It can't be true. It's impossible to even do the math because I'm not good at math. But here, I'll give it a try. So the men, if you take the U.S. men's national team and compare them to who they have to compete with on a world stage where the men have freedom for the most part, especially with soccer. They have freedom. So they compete at a higher level as far as financial support and all that. So our men's team needs to be able to compete with that, which costs more money because the teams they're playing are worth millions upon millions of dollars. Unlike the women. The women play against teams that are in poverty, that have nothing. Not all of them, but a majority of them. They play against countries that have no freedom for women. It's not the same. To compare that is insanity. It is. It's not the same freaking job. It's not. It's like, oh, we're both MMA fighters, but I fight in that bar down the road. That's who I compete with versus UFC. UFC fighters can get paid more because it's a more dangerous job and more expensive. Well, it's the same. It's not. That was a great comparison by me. Did I anger the wokies? You wokey. Did I upset you guys? I have an opinion that's not yours. Just bow down and do what we say. Just think like we think, or we'll go after you. Bring it, you frickin' wokies. Reading on. We remain as committed as ever, Levinson added, to our work to achieve the equal pay that we legally deserve. Not the women's players, and U.S. Soccer has been plotting a path forward in their relationship since May, when a federal judge, R. Gary Klossner, delivered a crushing blow to the players' equal pay argument. In his ruling, Judge Klossner not only dismissed the players' contention that they were systematically underpaid by U.S. Soccer in comparison with men's national team players, but he also said the federation had substantiated its argument that the women's team had actually earned more on both a cumulative and an average per game basis than the men's team during the years of the issue in the lawsuit. The ruling was a significant, if unpopular, victory for U.S. Soccer. The stars of the women's team, players like Megan Rapinoe, shocker, Alex Morgan, and Julie Ertz, who just do what they're told, are some of the federation's most popular and highest paid employees, and they had embraced the equal pay fight, using their years of media training, their popularity, and their huge social media following. They had worked effectively since going public with their fight nearly 5 years ago to bring fans and critically federation sponsors to their causes. In February, months before Judge Klossner ruling, they had set a price for ending their lawsuit at $67 million in back pay and damages. On Tuesday, the damages of becoming millionaires. We weren't rich enough. On Tuesday, Parlos Cohn said even a much smaller figure would likely bankrupt the federation, which I approve of. So I'm torn because I want U.S. Soccer to pay. I want them to go bankrupt and rethink everything. If they go bankrupt, this could be good for U.S. Soccer. It could be good. Because then they will have to rethink. They have to stay out of the way. Bankrupt U.S. Soccer. I'm all for that. So, Megan Rapinoe, I'm for you. And I'm against you. I'm an enigma of in the brain. So this is what's going on. I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's not worth talking about anymore. Crap's going on. Parlo's going to secretly create things so they can keep this thing going, which is going to be good. Let the women destroy U.S. Soccer. And it will help. It will actually hurt the women in the long run because then they can't pay the U.S. women national team players. But it's going to bankrupt them. And they have to start over and rethink things. And they do spend money stupidly. So they deserve this destruction they're facing. So I approve it all. This is Coach Cameron coming off COVID. Hoping you have a great rest of your day, as we're all going to die because it's a nasty flu season and a nasty COVID season. And the hospitals are through the roof, and we're all going to die. I survived it. Hopefully you'll survive it. Peace.